What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to a major EIDL update, jobs report, and stock market crash alert. It is Friday, October the 7th, about 12:30 in the afternoon, East Coast time. I need you to do me a huge favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and you go find us over at trysmallbiz.com where you can advertise your company today. That's trysmallbiz.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here before I usually am on a Friday afternoon because I want to get this video out before the close. It again is October the 7th, Friday afternoon around 12:30 in the East Coast time. In today's video, I'm going to share a very important update with respect to EIDL, why I'm optimistic that we're about to have some news between now and the election, what I'm going to do about it early next week with at least 2 or 3 videos on the subject. I'm going to quickly cover the jobs report, why if you dig in deep, it's actually good news, not bad news. And for the first time ever, I am going to go through all 7 stocks that we own, explain why I'm buying them, why you should do that as well. So ladies and gentlemen, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine, whiskey out of Big Rock, bottle of champagne. Here we go. We won't always be able to say that when we cut to the chase, get the microphone, the camera, but enjoy it while you can. This is a very important video. Thumbs up, share it everywhere. The first hour is crucial. And again, this should be released sometime around 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as soon as I can get it done and loaded out. Here's the bottom line. There is some very interesting developments going on behind the scenes, and for the sake of time, allow me to cut to the chase. You might recall Chuck Schumer from my home state of New York, I now live in the Atlanta area, was out trumpeting 6 months to a year in advance. Today would be a good day for President Biden to forgive student debt, right? He did the same thing with legalizing marijuana, 6 to 12 months in advance. The Democrats, right track, wrong track, based on the polls, are behind, especially in the House. It's razor thin in the Senate, but they may lose it as well. So what you might start to see, starting on Monday or Tuesday, is Chuck, Cardin, and or others start to say, you know, today would be a good day for President Biden to forgive or defer EIDL loan payments. There are so many people, Arizona, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Fetterman, who I think is a total fucking clown, is running against Oz, who's got his challenges. This is razor thin, ladies and gentlemen, and I think if we get a stock market rally after the October the 13th CPI report, which I believe is next Thursday, and we start to melt up into the election, as it's normally the case in a midterm year, it's going to be very, very close. I still think the House goes to Republicans. I will not be shocked if they hang on to the Senate in a dead even tie or +1, similar to what it is right now. So listen to me carefully. We have thousands of people that are stuck in reconsideration and not being given any more chance, at least for now, with respect to getting their EIDL loan increase funded. You had the National Restaurant Association. I shared it. I'll put it once again in the pinned top comment. Come out a few weeks ago, actually less than a week and a half ago, and say, get rid of the accrued interest. Get rid of the loan altogether, forgive the first 20 of 30 years. So in other words, you'd only be responsible for a third of the loan, and lower the interest rate on that 10-year payment to 1%, similar to PPP, not the 3.75 it is now. That's getting a lot of traction. So let me summarize it as simply as I can. There are so many close races that Chuck Schumer is well aware of, especially in the Senate. They've already given up the House. That's why Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy. By the way, did you see she doubled her money on a weed trade? WEED. I think she was buying calls and stock at 6 and change. The fucking stock hit 12.5 today. She never loses. So pay attention. But she's on her way to Italy to become the ambassador so she can roam around town. Didn't Newt Gingrich live over there? I believe he lived in Rome. Swanky areas of Italy. She knows it's over. She's not going to be sitting in the background as Kevin McCarthy has the gavel. So she's lost the House. They've already succumbed. But getting to the point, Jason, I'm a little fired up, ladies and gentlemen. Share this video everywhere. And again, don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell you why I think this is a crucial moment in the stock market and how you can make lots of money. So look for a post soon. Today would be a good day for President Biden or the SBA to forgive the EIDL loan, or most likely defer the EIDL payments. Small businesses can't afford the payments. It is the worst case scenario, and Chuck knows this. I've told his staff repeatedly, you're going to send people into the voting booth in states where it's razor thin, Chuck, And you have small business owners, 4 million of which took out a loan. The vast majority can't afford the payments, and yet they're due this month or next. So you're going to see, in my opinion, some jawboning at the very least, that today would be a good day for President Biden or the SBA or both to defer the EIDL payments until next year. Don't forget, they just gave students another 4 months outside of the ones that got total forgiveness altogether, another 4 months. Why would they leave small businesses out? I don't think they're going to. So thank you very much to the great Speak and See, Ryder over at Skip, who's got his buddies at the SBA. Hey, how about twisting a few arms for us, would you? And the National Restaurant Association, who's helped raise major awareness. If you're looking for the EIDL loan increase, even though the program is closed, and we've tried, watch the last half a dozen videos, to get you alternative options from our premium members that do have connections to over 300 lenders. There's still hope. But the big news of the day with respect to EIDL, before we go on to the jobs report in the market, which is important, look for jawboning starting next week when I do 2 or 3 videos. I'm going to do a $10,000 grant video because there is a bill in the Senate that's been stuck there for 2 or 3 months. You're going to see me do another video about getting rid of the accrual of interest and deferring the loan at least another 6 months to a year. And yes, I'll finish out, if not this week, the following week with EIDL loan forgiveness altogether. So don't go asleep on me. You got to be here for today. Pipe up, share it everywhere. Tell me how you're doing. Stick around until the end. But next week is crucial because if they don't see you guys squawking about getting your loan or the grant or the deferral or getting rid of the accrual of interest, they're not going to fucking do it. But if they continue to see more people like myself, the other 2 channels, the National Restaurant Association, and others that are stuck behind a race, you mark my words, somebody in Pennsylvania, Dr. Oz, are you listening? Somebody in Ohio, Vance, Masters in Arizona, etc., that wants to get just enough small business owner votes before the election is going to start running their mouth. So now is our time. Now is our chance. All right, the jobs number. Please stick around. Share it everywhere. Tell me what's going on in the comments below. And if you're trading this market or you're looking to understand how to make real money, like 15x, that's 15x since March. Don't go anywhere to the end of the video. The jobs report today, there's more good than bad. We have a buyer's strike. Yeah, the Dow's down 520 points right now, but volume is barely half of its normal volume. You look at stocks like Dave, D-A-V-E, which is down 12%. Actually, it's up a little. It's only off 9% right now. When it was at the lows of the day, it was off 13%. It was on 300,000 shares. Normal volume is 6 million. If this is a bear's paradise and it's not a 2008 style crash, I'll eat crow if it is. There'd be massive selling. This is called, we got a big inflation number next Thursday. We've already sold as much stock as we need to if you're a hedge fund manager. So we're just on the sidelines. And by the way, you had inflation or wage inflation flat. That's the most important thing. This market is hindering on next Thursday's CPI number. Gas has already gone from $4.69 to $3.15 right here in Atlanta. I've got food prices. I pay a lot of attention to beef and chicken wings. They're down 10 or even 15 or 20% from the peak 2 months ago. Look at lumber down 60. Look at the dry Baltic, what it costs to ship across the seas, down 72% in the last 8 months. Inflation outside of wages, which again today were flat, had been wiped out. The reason why we had a slight tick down in unemployment from 3.7 to 3.5, how many people could do this without an edit at 900 miles an hour and get you 15 times on your money? Follow me on Twitter at Try Small Biz. The reason we were down 2 ticks, man, am I on fire today? Am I on fire today? The reason we were down 2 ticks to 3.5% labor participation. We have a major problem, particularly among white men in this country that don't want to work. They're shacking up in apartments and houses at 5 or 10 deep. They're smoking the hooch, playing the video games. So companies have to raise wages to get their fucking lazy ass, for you F-bombers, off the couch. They're starting to make progress in that department. And what is helping is other countries in particular that are starting to call bullshit on the pandemic, the C word, saying, you know what? We may have been scammed. Didn't Fauci make $5 million and now he's trying to get out of town with Dodge before Jim Jordan and all the others roast his fucking ass when they take over the House? I could go on and on about that, but I'll save it for another day. The most important part of this, inflation has peaked. Wage inflation is starting to flatten out. Thursday is going to show a major drop in most, if not all, of the key metrics that the Fed is looking for. And I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to explain as the lights go out here in Atlanta, why this is a massive, once-in-a-lifetime 2008-9, 2020 March low buying opportunity. Because, as I've said before, as we now progress into the stocks that I will tell you to own and why we're owning them, years that end in 2 are among the best of any digit going back to 1900, 52, 62, 92, 2002 after the dot-com bubble crash, 2012, and yes, this year. Don't forget we had a 26.5% bear market rally from the June lows. I believe we bottomed on Friday, a week ago today, September the 30th, and even though we're down 550 in the Dow, we're still 800 points or thereabouts up from last Friday's low on very light volume. So listen to me carefully. Stop fucking listening to the snowflakes on YouTube. The sky is falling. You got Biden, Beer Nuts Biden, the skimmer of 10%, the sniffer of young children's hair, caught on a fucking hot mic again. Not only saying nobody fucks with the Biden, but no, we've reached an Armageddon moment with respect to nuclear weapons. Is this intentional? In my opinion, yes, it is. Simply put, we live in a world where the few control the many. The hidden hand, the Wizard of Oz. They represent a couple of bloodlines, as I mentioned last week, which got shadow banned completely. Their entire game is to tear us apart, to scare the shit out of us, to use these lemmings and snowflakes on social media to get you out of your house for 30, 40, 50 cents out of a dollar, to get you to sell your 401k, your IRA. But the most important thing, as I just mentioned 30 seconds to a minute ago, the volume is light. Pay attention to what they're doing, not what they're telling you. They're not selling. They're sitting there on the bid going, give it to me. They got this fucking idiot that we call a president of the United States talking about nuclear Armageddon, and nobody fucks with the big guy, you know, the sniffer of young children's hair, the skimmer of 10%, the mortal enemy of a bad new dude named Corn Pop. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. I believe that was Winston Churchill. Now, if you want to make money in the stock market, don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell you what to buy and why. Please share this everywhere. I'm on fire today. Got to be one of my best videos. Talk about free association, a relentless flow of consciousness that's worth big money if we're at a major low. If this is a typical midterm election year cycle, which, by the way, is the strongest quarter of a 4-year presidential cycle, and Wednesday, November the 9th, it will not be unusual to see 1,000 points or more up in the Dow post-election. Why? Gridlock. If the Republicans take over the House and or especially the Senate, you're going to see 1,000 to 1,500, maybe 2,000 points up. It means that Biden is officially a lame duck. They're going to start the relentless pursuit of his crackhead son. Is he going to jail? Of course not, because nobody fucks with a Biden. But it's going to be absolute theater. Why? Divide. If we all came together, regardless of race, color, creed, sexual and political persuasion, if we started to compromise, kind of like what we used to do in the 80s. Remember when Tip O'Neill used to have martinis with Reagan at 5 o'clock? Or when Slick Willie did deals with Newt Gingrich in the 1990s? In both cases, we were rocking and rolling. There is going to be a younger generation, mark my words. This is the beginning of saying aloha to Nancy as she goes off to Italy. One of the two, whether it's Darth Vader, the man with no soul, or Chuck Schumer is packing their bags. And you're going to start to see from this point forward DeSantis-like politicians that are much younger, that are much more inclusive in swing states like a Florida, or maybe even in Arizona, Texas, Pennsylvania. You get the point. Not Fetterman. Total fucking clown. If anybody is watching me that's voting for him, please unfollow and get your ass somewhere else. And if you got a premium membership and you still think Fetterman's the guy you need to vote for, unfollow, get rid of it. Cancel it. I don't want your business. The guy is a total fucking loser. And Oz, not much better, but when I'm forced to take between the two, I'll go with a guy who, shows up for work. Fetterman didn't show up for a third of his fucking duties, was totally MIA, probably at the, Do your research. The guy's a total loser. In no particular order, here's what you should be buying right now. We're now approaching 1 o'clock. I just put out a tweet before this video, said if I had to buy 2 stocks DraftKings and BBIG. Let's start with DraftKings. DKNG right now at 16 and a quarter ish. We own it at 15.35. Last night, they did a deal or potential deals in the work with ESPN. The stock went up to 17 and a half. But because of the shit show we've got today on light volume, it's coming back. It's giving you another chance to take a bite of the apple or kiss the frog or both. So if you can buy some, if you got any cash, DKNG at 16 and a quarter or less, and BBIG is all the way back on very light volume to where we own it at 94 cents. Look, it's a potential replacement to TikTok. If they ever succeed, and I don't think they will, but if they ever do succeed in banning the Chinese-owned TikTok, and they realize that Lomotif, Lomotif, is actually a US-based, big in India, alternative, and somebody like a Ross Miller can pull in a politician and or a president like DeSantis, Trump, or even Sleepy Joe and say, let's get behind this USA base that's not going to track, trace it, monitor, etc. It'll be fucking halted. It'll open up at $5 or better. What are the odds of that? Probably 10 or 15%. But the good news, Ross Miller, Mr. MMA now, former commissioner, I believe, of Las Vegas and or Nevada, is now in charge. So we now have some reasonable people in there. No more games. I won't mention the idiots that tried to do the shakedown. If you can buy BBIG at 94 cents, actually it's almost 95 right now, or DKNG DraftKings, both of which are down almost 85 or 90% from their 52-week high, do so. All right, why do I own ARK? ARK, Kathy Wood's ETF, also down over 70% from its peak, is a basket of about 35 of the best companies in the world. And the reason she's getting whacked on low volume is because of Tesla, primarily. Elon changed his mind. I've got reasons for that. Save it for another video. Has to do with politics and power. And Tesla's getting whacked. The stock is down 15 to 16% in the past week. It's her biggest position. So she's getting hammered too. But she also has DraftKings, Zoom, Coinbase, the best of the best that have already been taken out to the woodshed. So if you can buy ARKK right now at $37.60, which is below the 39 and small change that I own it, and I've traded it many times, go for it. ARKK, it's a basket of 35 names at $37.60. CRKN, very interesting. Charlie, Robert, Kevin, Nancy, 3.5 million market cap. We're talking micro cap. And you've seen in the last few weeks alone, it doubles in the span of an hour or two in both directions. It ran from 19 cents to 48 this week. I caught it on the way up at 27. I sold it at 36. You can get all those trades at Try Small Biz on Twitter. I started buying it a little early. Didn't know we were going to have this melee today. I own it at about 248. Right now, as we speak, you can buy CRKN at 0.226. So less than 23 cents. It's 3.5 million market cap. It has to do with Green New Deal, tinting of windows, etc., etc. One of the analysts last year said they were going to do more than 100 million a year in revenue by 2024. I haven't seen anything published from that guy in a long time, but if the numbers are true and there's not something there nefarious and I can't find anything, buying CRKN, no more than 10% per idea, you've heard me say that, at 0.226 is an absolute steal. AVCT, I don't own it. I told you to sell it at 26.5, 30 cents. Turns out I was right once again. It's been blasted, split adjusted. It's at 15 cents and change. But if you're asking me, would I buy it right now at $2.18? A little bit. Let it retest the 198 post-split low and maybe buy some more. But the more time that goes by, it's looking like a scam. They really screwed people over by not being honest about their intentions with the reverse split. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't have as much confidence in AVCT as I do in BBIG at 94 cents. Kind of rhymes. Shopify, tremendous company, huge opportunity. You can buy it right now at $27.08. I own it at 29 and change, but again, that's down almost 90% where it was at the C-word peak. It's a tremendous brand. You can get it 90% off of its all-time high. Shop, S-H-O-P, at 27 and small change. Nothing more needs to be said. Rev B, I could spend 10 minutes talking about this, but we had a 50% loss in REVB. They had a deal, I believe it was with Vanderbilt yesterday. The stock started to melt up. It got to 45 cents in the pre-market. I said, that's it, I'm out. I took a 5% loss, as many of you did, instead of a 50% loss. Many of you sadly didn't listen to what the fuck I'm saying, and that's why you're not up 15%. If you're only up 2 or 3x, it's because you're cherry picking. And some of you have a hard time taking a loss. So now where is it? It's at a quarter. It's lower than it was pre-deal. So if you didn't sell Rev B at 45, 44 and change, when it was there for plenty of time pre-market, you fucked up, and you need to start listening to what I have to say. And by the way, it would be a lot easier. We now only need 96. We have 404. Thank you very much, premium members. I will be able to text you when we get to 500. We're going to use a service called Text Magic, which already has an alliance with the same company that built our website, trysmallbiz.com, where you should get a premium membership if you want me texting stock picks in real time. All right, ATNX and Dave, they're big losses. We're going to treat them the same as we are. Rev B, if we get a bounce into the end of the year, beginning of next, we look to get out at close to break even, make a little, lose a little. Did I miss anything? Peloton, great buy. You can buy PTON at 862 right now. It's going to have a strong fourth quarter no matter what the fake news or the snowflakes are telling you. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, I love you. Share this video. It's a big week next week. We have a chance to get the accrual of interest removed, deferment of the loan, and maybe even forgiven altogether. And yes, I will not forget about those looking for the EIDL increase. Always remember, I love you, and thank you so much for watching.